More breaking news meanwhile coming in. Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has fired the head of the nation's security service over its failure to anticipate the 7th of October 2023 attack by Hamas. The Israeli cabinet met to formally approve the early dismissal of Ronen Bar, who was appointed in October 2021 for a 5-year term as the Shin Bet's chief. Netanyahu announced his intention to sack Bar in a video statement, citing an ongoing distrust between the two men, which he said had grown over time. The move has sparked outrage and further inflamed anti-government demonstrations in Jerusalem, which saw thousands of Israelis join forces with protesters opposing Israel's renewed assault on Gaza. Aditya continues to be live with us on this big story. Aditya, give us more updates about this move taken by the Israeli Prime Minister.
Well, absolutely, Uday, if you see, it's a very significant move that the Israeli Prime Minister has, fired the because he was not been able to predict the 7th October attack. That many Israeli hostages, and also due to that, Hamas was able to capture many Israeli hostages, and they had been kept captive by Hamas for long. And so far, recently what we have saw that Israel has again stepped up its attack against Hamas, because they haven't been the group hasn't been able to fulfill on the conditions of all the ceasefire deal, and many believe, and still all the Israeli hostages haven't been released by Hamas, and that is why now some days back the statement from the Israeli PM Benjamin Netanyahu's office had come, wherein he said that we will now fully dismantle Hamas, because they haven't been
Right. Colonel J. Sodhi, in fact, international affairs expert, is also joining us now on the broadcast. Colonel Sodhi, what ramifications will this move by Netanyahu have on the ongoing conflict in Gaza?
Jai Hind, Uday. It's my honor to be on an esteemed channel. The Israeli Prime Minister, by sacking the head of the Israeli intelligence agency, Shin Bet, who's Ronen Bar, has now created and complicated more problems for himself. Because as the outrage against Netanyahu is growing with each passing day, it will become very difficult for him to remain in chair. Just 2 days back, an opinion poll by a leading Israeli newspaper has found that 70% Israeli citizens want Netanyahu to resign. Well, Shin Bet in its report just a few weeks back had clearly said that it had given all the evidences to the Israeli Prime Minister that the 7th October 23 attack will take place, but the Israeli Prime Minister did not take any action, and this had created a furor in Israel, because every Israeli citizen held the Prime Minister responsible because he had failed to act when actionable intelligence was given to him. So by sacking the Israeli spy chief, Netanyahu has shown that he's on a weak footing. He doesn't want the truth to come out, but eventually the truth has to come out, and this will affect the ongoing operations in the Gaza Strip, which has started a few days back, because now the intelligence agencies will be very scared of telling Netanyahu anything for the fear of being dismissed.
All right, more breaking news meanwhile coming in. The Israeli military has expanded its ground operations across the Gaza